Financial freedom. We've all heard this phrase at one point or another. And for most of us, it sounds like something impossible, something reserved for a certain set of people. It's the destination you will only reach after decades of disciplined savings, sacrificing everything you love, and getting lucky. But what if I told you that financial freedom is actually simple? It's not about the amount of money you have right now, but one key concept you've never really heard of. And I recently learned of this concept and it changed everything for me. If you're new here, you might be wondering, why should I really listen to you? But hold on, before you scroll off, I'm not here to sell you anything. I'm not here to give you any secret to a get-rich-quick scheme. I'm just a guest sharing what I've learned on my journey to financial freedom. So I have created all the content on this my space to be simple yet effective, things that I have learned to take complete control of my money so that you don't have to do the mistakes that I did. Now, if I've convinced you to listen to me, let's get right into it. Now, to be honest with you, to be financially free or to gain financial freedom, it's not about the amount of money you have in your bank account right now. It's about your financial independence ratio. Yes, this is the concept I recently learned about and it changed everything for me when I learned about it. And I'll share with you all, or even how to calculate it. I'll let you know all about that in this video. So you will learn what this ratio is, how to calculate it, and most importantly, how to use it to make financial freedom feel not just possible, but easy. Now, what is this financial independence ratio? It's a simple formula. Your invested assets divided by your total living expenses equals your financial independence ratio. So it basically tells you how many years you are going to live off of your invested assets if you are not going to work again. So it's just like when you hear people saying, I'm retiring at 30, I'm retiring at 20, it is because they know of their financial independence ratio. How much have they invested? How much is their total annual living expenses? Now calculate it, and that will give you your financial independence ratio. So if your ratio is 1, you know that you can only live 1 year after you decide to retire. That is how much your asset can cover you up for. But if it is 5, you can survive 5 years with your invested assets. That is after you decide to stop working. But when you get 25, you know that you are financially free because that is based on the 4% rule, which is very popular. So now that you know what the financial independence ratio is and how it relates to, how much you can work after you decide to stop working, let's bring it down to real life. Let's calculate it step by step. All you need now is to grab your piece of paper, your tab, whichever one you want to calculate it on. Let's get right into the example. So the first thing you need to do is to sum up all your monthly expenses, like your food, your rent, your transportation, those things that you know that you can't do without. Write it all down and then multiply it by 12. That is to take care of your annual living expenses. So we are going to call this number your annual expense number. Let's say you sum up this number and you get 5 million naira as a Nigerian, or maybe $5,000 for our international audience out there. So we have a working number. Next is to calculate your total invested assets. Now that we have our annual expense number, we are going to calculate our total invested assets. It includes your bonds, your lands, all your investments, that is excluding what you have in your bank account. Like your normal day-to-day expense, we are going to exclude that. We are talking about like those things that you've invested that you know that are going to help you grow your money. Even the money you have put in your high-yield savings account, you can bring it down here. We need to add this number up to get our total invested assets. Now, let's say you have 20 million naira as this value. We already have our living expenses, which is 5 million naira, and then we have our invested asset, which is 20 million naira. Remember that this is annual living expenses, which is the 5 million, and this is your total invested asset. We are going to divide these two numbers to give us our financial independence ratio. When you divide 20 million by 5 million, your ratio is going to be giving you 4. You can only survive 4 years on your invested asset after you decide to stop working. That is what it just basically means. Now we have this number on lockdown. We know that based on this calculation of 20 million divided by 5, you can survive 4 years after you decide to retire based on your investment value. Now let's move on to the next point. After you've gotten your financial independence ratio, we need to go to the next point where the real magic happens, the mindset shift. Taking yourself from thinking vague to having a clear path, because your financial independence ratio gives you your progress. Like, it helps you to track your progress. what you can do to take you from one point to the other point. So instead of saying I want to be a millionaire, you can say I am at a financial ratio of 4. I am planning to get to 5 by the end of this year. So using this method basically changes how you think about your financial freedom, because it now gives you a measurable journey. Now when you are celebrating your milestones, what you've achieved, you can now say, instead of saying I want to make more money, you can say I want to increase my financial ratio. This way, little by little, you find that you are having this mindset shift. You are thinking about your financial journey differently. So now that you know what a financial independence ratio is, how to calculate it, how you need to change your mindset, and how you see your financial journey, let me share with you 3 ways to immediately increase your financial ratio. One is to increase your invested assets. Think of saving more, investing more money. Second one is to decrease your annual living expenses. This second one is actually the most powerful one. You are basically thinking of how to reduce your spending, so you are now using that money to increase your ratio. And the third one is to increase your income. So you have to think of how to make more money. This will help to increase your ratio, and it will help you to retire early if that is something you are interested in, or it will help you to think of having more peace of mind in your financial journey, knowing that you have more money set aside for when situations happen, or when you decide to, okay, I don't want to work again, I'm tired now, I can just decide to rest. You don't need to set a number, but you need to have it at the back of your mind, so that it helps you have that peace of mind of knowing that you have things in control. But what I love about this is that you can do all 3 things I just listed at the same time, and each of them are going to impact on improving your ratio. But always remember, financial independence is not a destination, but it is a journey. And always use your financial independence ratio as your GPS, because it will tell you exactly where you are and how far you have to go. So it makes financial independence feel possible, not just possible, but easy. So let me know in the comment section, what is your current financial independence ratio? And if you want to learn more about financial independence and how to build wealth, or how to remain secretly rich that people will keep guessing, check out this video I made here of the 5 signs on how to know someone is secretly rich. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye bye.